I decided to go all out for Purgatory. The first champ I got from the Glorious Guardians or whatever it's called, the key things. I only opened 2 so far, so I got Purgatory and Black Panther, and I am using a Mystic Awakening gem and my generic 2-3 on this champion. If you don't know, I've made like an over an hour long video on 6-star Purgatory, and there's probably going to be a lot more Purgatory content coming your way with this 7-star version. And so in this video, we're just going to be doing some initial stuff. All of this I just kind of recorded today, so none of it's like that impressive or that like game breaking to where like what I want to work for a showcase for, but I do really like some of these fights. We're just going to show a general Purgatory thing here versus this Winter Soldier, and then against Captain Marvel next. You can see her damage is like really good, and it was always going to be pretty good. Even at the 6-star level, it felt very nice. You just kind of like to spam SP2s in this Demonic Rampage. You get the Big Fury, it's a 19k medium, and you have a really nice hard-ticking degen and stuff. But what I really like about Purgatory is how she ramps throughout a quest, and in some of the fights that we're going to show later in this video, it's a lot of questing stuff. Because Purgatory at heart is a quester. She likes to capture these souls from the defenders and then use the extra abilities she gets throughout a quest. So there I captured the skill soul. What the skill soul does, it's honestly the worst of the 5 in my opinion. Yeah, I'd say it's the worst of the 5. It lets you place a passive slow when a damage over time debuff expires on the opponent. Yeah, so I ate a bunch of hits versus that Captain Marvel. It's fine, I just couldn't parry at the start or whatever. And now we're going to drop the SP2. It's going to do a lot of damage. We have a very hard ticking degen afterwards. And then we go for the Relic. We're going to go for another SP2 right here. And then that's basically going to finish Captain Marvel off, I think. So that was like a 30-second fight. Yeah, 34 seconds, and we captured the Cosmic Soul. So here's Wolverine. This is with all 5 of the class souls. So we're gonna have Armor Break from Tech, Regen on Block from Mystic, Power Steal from Mutant, the Slow from Skill, and Nullify and Unblockable from Cosmic. So let's just see how quickly we rip apart this Wolverine. I think I messed up a little bit at the early part of the fight. It would also help if I can load into it. Holy crap, there we go. So yeah, we're gonna hit him a bunch, try to get to SP2 as fast as we can, get our Demonic Rampage activated, which is just where all the fun stuff is gonna start happening. I'm just trying to get an opening, and then I eat a special attack, and then I eat more hits. But here, now he's just dead. We're gonna go self-power drain there with my second medium attack, place an Incinerate, place a degen, and his health bar is just getting ripped apart. We're already right back to 2 bars right there, and then he's dead. So that was pretty fun, right? That was Realm of Legends Wolverine in 31 seconds. It really could have been faster. So next up, we're going to fight this Maestro in the event quest. I really like using Purgatory versus Maestro. This node has persistent pressure, so he's going to gain Unstoppable every once in a while. Fun game lag things. Here we go. Remove his shield thing. Oh my gosh, dude. There we go. Can we finally start hitting him? There we go. And then, so we're going to nullify whenever we cross a bar of power. That's going to trigger a Mystic Explosion, give me an unblockable. Really great. And then there's a node that's going to give me a prowess whenever I eat a glance, or whenever I glance, but that doesn't even happen too much when I nullify the buffs so often. Here we do trigger the glance a little bit. I don't even get a bunch of prowess. He's just gonna die here. So, yeah, she's really fun for Maestro. Really fun for Maestro. Absolutely love it. And then next up, we have a couple of BG's fights from this Power Shield meta. I was just running some games today, and these 2 fights were a couple that I got to take. The only Purgatory fights I got to take today. I'm sure I'll have a bunch more coming soon. But First off, we're fighting this Guillotine 2099, which is kind of an annoying defender this meta, because you really want to force her to SP2s, otherwise she's just going to be power draining you, and it's really annoying. But then you also take a bunch of damage by blocking the SP2 and stuff like that. That was a really weird spacing thing that happened, where I went much farther backwards than I expected. But here, I'm going to try to push her to another SP2, then we're going to block it, and then I'm going to have my own SP2 to drop. And we have an armor break on her, and then she takes a lot of damage there. This SP2 is just going to rip her apart, so that was pretty cool. 47 seconds is okay this meta, it's not that great, but a Guillotine does kind of mess with the times a little bit. Next up is Bishop, rank 2 Bishop. Purgatory is Incinerate immune, so we can bait SP1s if we want. We are going to have to deal with the block damage a little bit, especially since he's going to be gaining prowess, and Purgatory is all energy damage, so have to deal with his energy resistance too. But it's going to go pretty decently still. Let's see. Go for the SP. He's going to throw an SP1 here, and then we drop my SP2. The damage itself is very lackluster due to his annoying energy resist, but that degen is just doing 5% of his health every time it ticks. And then here, I'm going to go for an SP1, and then that's going to regen a lot of my health back, and then kill him. So the SP1 regen proving to be somewhat useful. Usually it's not that great, but that was pretty cool, right? So, next up, we're going to do the entire Cryoversary quest, just to show her off in questing content, and just see how fast we can rip apart these defenders, keep gaining souls, keep gaining more abilities, just to make the fight be even more fun. Starting with the Tech one versus the Silver Centurion. We place armor breaks every time we cross a bar of power, which really add up to increase our damage. It feels really great. And then do some really nice crits on that attack. The degen's ticking really hard, and then go for a relic here, and he's dead. So that was just basically one SP2 killed the defender fight. Pretty cool. 27 seconds. We have the Tech soul for the rest of the quest now, and there are 6 fights. So every time we finish a fight, we're just gonna get another soul, another fun ability for the rest of the quest. Now, it is worth mentioning that the way to capture your soul is a little bit different if you're playing a duped or an unduped Purgatory. If you're playing a duped one, you just have to kill the defender while you're in Rampage. If you're not, then the way to capture a soul is to kill them with your special attack, or by reaching 10 of those neutralizes, which everything's gonna die before you reach 10 of those neutralizes, right? So you really need to kill the opponent with a special attack if you're playing an unduped Purgatory. If you're playing a duped Purgatory like mine, then you just don't have to worry about it. But I'm going to assume most of you don't have a duped Purgatory because most of you aren't going to use a Mystic Gem on her, right? Unless you're really, really cool and you decide to, in which case, good on you, and I'm really proud of you. But if you're playing an unduped Purgatory, you're going to have to kill with a special attack to capture the soul, which isn't the worst thing in the world to do, but it's a little annoying. Gonna go for a sidestep here, and then this Jabari Panther is just dead like that. So, skill soul captured, get the slow, which again is like the least useful of them, but still pretty cool, right? And then we're gonna fight this Null here. Null does have some innate degen resistance, so it makes this fight a bit longer, but that's gonna be fine. The armor breaks just make my basic hit so hard anyway. Push him to an SP2 here. Bait it, and then I'm just gonna drop my SP2 right after, and then he's gonna take a lot of damage. So that degen's still doing like almost 4k per tick, and then this relic finishes the job. So there we go, Null down in 32 seconds. Next up, we're fighting America Chavez, the last class we actually need a soul for, the Mystic one. The Mystic one allows you to regenerate block damage when the opponent throws a special attack, so that's really cool. Not the most useful, but still pretty decent, if I do say so myself. So, drop the SP2, do a bunch of damage, we're at another bar of power, and then we power steal, so we gain a power gain buff, or passive, giving me more power, equal to like some of the power I stole or whatever. And then finally, we're at the Cersei boss in this quest. with all of the souls, and this is going to be one of the most chaotic fights ever. That's just kind of Cersei when you're using a Mystic champion, though, because of the amount of buffs she feeds Mystic Dispersion. But great thing about Purgatory is that she has the self-power drain on her second medium when in Demonic Rampage to prevent you from going to an SP3 that you don't want to be at, right? So I love Mystics who do that type of thing. It makes things so much easier. So she is going to glance the degen and stuff, but we're just spamming unblockable special attacks, so who cares? And here I drop an SP1, which does nice damage, heals me back some health, and then I'm going to do the double medium, power drain myself, 45k crit on the first hit of the SP2, and then that Cersei's down. So I love Purgatory so much. Again, this is very initial gameplay coming from her. There's going to be so much more interesting Purgatory content coming soon. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.